from that in the courtroom. We'll talk to our lawyer, Bob Williams, about that at 6:15. At 6:30, Brian Munson from the road. He's on his way up to Nebraska right now. We're going to talk to him. Some changes coming to the 27 class, obviously some changes in the coaching staff in Lincoln right now as well. We get his thoughts on all that at 6:30. We'll buy or sell on several different topics from Dan Campen tonight. We'll also talk at 7:30 with the owner of the Omaha Kings and Queens, Manny Veal, as well. Get his thoughts on his upcoming season. They got a game tomorrow, 2 games tomorrow.
Yeah, they got men and women both tomorrow night at Baxter Arena.
Stop by or check it out on
the stream.
I
think it's on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Where they stream it on YouTube.
You'll hear a familiar voice, and John Schreiner there as well.
And there may be some tickets to those games available when Manny comes in
tonight. Tickets to a game of great significance tomorrow, some would say. If you're looking for something to do tomorrow and want to win yourself some tickets, we'll find out a way to do that. We have to decide by 7:30 how we're going to
do that.
That's why I didn't say anything because we didn't have anything planned on how to get rid of those. So we will figure that out by 7:30. Hopefully stick around with us. Don't forget to punch in for the night shift on YouTube. If Dan can figure out how to work technology, we'll have that available for you here shortly as well. What's going on? You all right?
What? No. The YouTube is up. We are live.
Well, join us there as well. Even if you're on YouTube, it's still AM radio. Obviously, Matt Rhule addressed the media today. Had a lot of things to talk about. He really addressed the Dylan Raiola situation for the first time and said that he spoke with Dylan. He told Dylan to go back and enjoy his time in Georgia and really think and process and decide what he wanted to do, and said he wishes Dylan nothing but the best. And he was able, now that they're not recruiting Dayton, to talk about Dayton and success and winning a state championship, and wish Dayton nothing but the success as well. And I don't mean to go out of my way to give myself an attaboy, but this is kind of what we talked about on Friday of last week, was how much he had talked about the quarterback run game and the importance of it and having a mobile quarterback. And he referenced Mendoza, and he referenced Pavia, and he referenced all these quarterbacks that are having success that aren't necessarily dual threats, but are mobile enough and can make plays. And that's going to be their focus point, and their pivotal moment about recruiting quarterbacks going forward. And obviously, when you look at TJ Lateef, Matt Rhule said as much. He's not exactly a dual threat, but he's mobile enough. And you look at Trey Taylor, who I think you'd list as a dual threat quarterback, obviously. But I mean, I also think that he's more of a passer than he is a thrower, and that's going to fall more into that category as well. But then we got to the hot button topic where Steve Sipple asked about program reset.
Yeah.
And Matt Rhule does not want to hear that. Listen, that's the response I want.
Went over like a lead balloon, one.
But that's the response I wanted from him. And honestly, he kind of alluded to some of the stuff I was talking about last week about passing the buck too, and like took ownership of the fact that he wasn't coaching the D-line and did not do enough this year, and talked about how going forward. And he didn't call Nebraska fans ungrateful necessarily, but he talked about, like, he said this program was in the dump for 10 years.
He said 10 years ago, for 10 years, this program was dead.
Yeah, and he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong, and they have had progress, and it is really hard to see the forest through the trees in that equation. But the problem is Matt Rhule is the one that talked about when they were 5-1. This is what happens when you hire me, and this is what success looks like in the year 3 bump, and this is the success rate we've had, and da da da. So I guess you could play both sides of the coin there if you really want to, which it kind of feels like Matt Rhule did, but it just feels like he's
part of Matt Rhule's job is to keep Matt Rhule's job.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, that's everybody's job in college football right now. But listen, some people are trying to get fired too.
Most jobs, you don't have to stand in front of a gallery of media members, asking you about why you should keep your job.
Well, I don't think. Listen, that wasn't asked, but I mean, it was inferred.
Like,
I guess
it's implied in every question that is like not praise. You know what I mean? Implied in every question is.
He owned it though. He said, "Listen, this season fell apart at the end." He openly admitted that, and it sounds like TJ Lateef is going to be the quarterback going forward, which I think a lot of people maybe scratch their head at because of the way the season ended. But he did look the part against UCLA, and there were some flashes there against Penn State. And the Iowa game as a whole kind of got away from this entire team. I don't know if I put a lot of that on TJ Lateef. There was a lot of issues with that game, but it sounds like he going forward. I believe this year was a little bit of a trial run for him because he felt confident in the guys he had around him that let me step back and be the CEO role and not worry about coaching. Because he talked about at Baylor, he would take groups of guys down and he would coach and would be directly involved in certain aspects, specifically with the defensive line. And so that's the plan going forward. Now, when you hire a guy that you seemingly felt comfortable with as your defensive coordinator, he'd been here for a year, you'd worked with him previously. You get a guy that's a former head coach in Dana Holgorsen. You probably felt, and you being Matt Rhule, felt you could step back and delegate, and clearly that doesn't work. So it doesn't sound like that's going to be the plan going forward. But
it sounds like he felt like he had given up too much control.
I 100% agree. For a guy that seems like a total control freak, by the way,
Yeah.
a little bit surprising. I think that was my biggest problem with the whole thing. But I don't think this is a program reset either, and I agree with him in that sentiment. I think they're finally going all in on the concept they think they need to run with to win here. And they got a really big reason to pivot away from that. But you can't change your stripes and call yourself a cheetah if you have now that you have polka dots. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be who you are. That was a really bad analogy.
It was terrible.
Yeah. So, but we'll go back to that in a minute. Anyway, but this coaching staff came in, and Matt Rule talked about what he learned from Kirk Ferentz and the advice he got from him, and what Tom Osborne had told about needing a running quarterback because of the wind and the elements in Nebraska. And listen, it's really easy to say that after year 3 goes the way it did, but these are the same things he was saying when he got here. And the reason they did go out and get Jeff Sims, they thought they could fix him. And there's also the Jake Peets of it all. They thought they were going to have a different quarterback coach, but they ended up getting Glenn Thomas, who I think a lot of people respect in the quarterback game. Yeah. So I don't think this is a program reset. I think this is just more of what this coaching staff and specifically this head coach wanted to be in the first place.
Yeah, I think that the some of the comments today were illuminating for me.
Sure.
Especially the stuff about, him needing to be more hands-on as a coach. And it almost sounds like he had talked himself into being more of the CEO coach.
Sure.
And trying to be more hands-off and turning over control of certain areas to their coordinators and then just trying to hold them accountable to the vision that he had for them. And for whatever reason, whether you don't have the right people in place to be able to do that, or you don't know how to delegate and manage that way because you haven't done it before, whatever it is, it didn't seem to work very well. And I think he's going to try to go back to being the coach that he has been up to this point. It just seems like he didn't say this at all, but in listening to it and in reading the reactions and everything, it sounds like to me that he was trying something different.
Which he had to.
Yeah.
Because after Jeff Sims, you had Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
Nobody, and I'm not talking from a turnover standpoint. I'm talking from the way they play the football, play the game of football. They clearly, you can't do the same thing with both of those quarterbacks. And, and you can say what you want. He's the head coach. The buck stops with him, and he could have made his own decisions, and he didn't have to take Dylan Raiola. There's no world in which Matt Rule is not taking Dylan Raiola in that situation. He's going on bustling with the boys, and you have Will Compton saying things like, well, how do you feel about quarterbacks that come out of Arizona and things like that publicly? And what are you doing to try to get players like that in your program, and beating around the bush the best way you could? And all of the we often talk about Bill Moose and the failures he had, and a lot of that comes with the failures that Scott Frost had. But think about what happens. Think about the public perception of Bill Moose if he doesn't hire Scott Frost at that time, where it felt like it could only be one guy. Now think about what happens if Dylan Raiola commits to Ohio State, commits to Georgia, decommits again, and ends up at Louisville or Miami. You're probably going, okay, what is this coaching staff not doing that they had a shot at this guy 3 times and couldn't close the deal? He had to take Dylan Raiola. And listen,
sure.
Dylan Raiola was a very good football player. It's not like you had a bad product falling.
There was no reason to say no to Dylan Raiola.
It just at times felt like a square peg in a round hole because of the difference in philosophies.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I just think Dylan Raiola wasn't quite good enough during his time here.
Also, still a true sophomore. And
still a true sophomore.
There's something to be said about that. I'm not trying to make excuses for
anybody. But here's the reality of college football now. If you're gonna spend a significant amount of money on a player to get him to play for your team and then to keep him on your team, that player better produce.
I think it's important to point out that Matt Rule is also the guy that stood up in front of the front of a podium and said, well, if you want a really good quarterback that costs $1 million these days.
Yeah, he understands it. But then, this is the new college football world that sometimes you're gonna, it happens in the NFL draft all the time. They're our first round draft bust. And I'm not saying that Dylan Raiola is a bust. He's still got plenty of time to prove himself. But
Are you saying that Mike Trout is?
I'm definitely not
Okay.
saying Mike Trout's a bust. You said that and you were wrong.
Yeah, well, am I?
What I'm saying is Dylan Raiola needed a fresh start because whatever was happening here was not getting him to where he needs to be as a player, whether that's on his end, whether that's on Nebraska's end, whether that's on Matt Rule's end. I don't know.
There's a possibility it's all of those.
And I don't care.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But Nebraska was committing a significant dollar amount to Dylan Raiola for him to be the quarterback at Nebraska.
Yep.
And the numbers that he put up were not consummate with that dollar amount. They don't compute.
All right. This is not the conversation we're having, but let me play devil's advocate that for just a minute. Because from that standpoint, it's not, and nobody wants to hear this. This is just the truth. It's not all about production on the field. Everything he was kind of shouldered with off the field from a recruiting standpoint and building the program around. And listen, a lot of that helped the Dylan Raiola brand as well, and it's why he's going to get paid a lot of money wherever he goes next, despite the numbers that you just referenced. But he was also the guy that was kind of put the end on his shoulders and carried it for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think you can debate he did a fantastic job with that.
Look, I'm not a Dylan Raiola hater. Despite what you just heard me say, I wanted him to
Well, you
stay.
didn't say that it wasn't true.
I wanted him to stay in Nebraska. I think I said it on this show that I think if you're a Nebraska fan, you should have wanted Dylan Raiola to stay at Nebraska just because of the persona, the attention, and the overall talent that, you know, he could really break through next year. That it would have been best for Nebraska if Dylan Raiola had stayed. Did the Nebraska coaching staff think that was the truth? I don't know. But with Matt Rule's comments today, it seems like this was a mutual parting of ways.
Yeah.
Man, mutual means
Both sides.
Nebraska wanted him to leave as much as he wanted to leave.
Sure.
In my heart of hearts, I do hope that there was a piece of Matt Rule and this coaching staff that said, we would like you to stay.
I'm sure
because we think that we can do it with you. We think that you can do it with us, because I will give Dylan all of the credit for everything off the field specifically.
except for his TikToks. I won't give him credit for that.
I will, because that was actually, it made him a relatable, like 19-year-old. He's literally a child. My biggest thing is
19-year-old's an adult.
depending upon what crime you commit.
Fair enough, Dan.
Yeah. Just
Go ahead.
let
Sorry.
me get this out. I just really appreciated the fact that Matt Rule brought him in here, and Dylan from day one understood what his job was as a Nebraska Cornhusker and as the quarterback, because he, like Jimmy said, shouldered a lot of the N on himself, and specifically took a lot of the slings and arrows from fans in the media and took a lot of the blame for what was going wrong on offense, especially during the Satterfield days. So I like to give him a little bit of that credit there. You really?
Yeah. I think that both these, what you said, what I'm about to say could be true. I think a lot of people looked at it as more, okay, this is on Marcus Satterfield and Dylan Raiola could save us, more than what you said, because his talent would overcome the shortcomings.
Yeah.
Really more than anything. Hey, really quick, and I don't mean to pivot away from what you said, but I want to throw something up on the stream real quick. And don't forget to punch in for the night shift. Leave us a comment on YouTube tonight to get your thoughts. And Chris weighs in, if you can throw it up on the screen, Dan, and says, you have to wonder where the program would be if Rule had never retained Donovan. And that obviously indicate or infers that Dylan only came here because of Donovan. And I think it would infer that Dylan would have stayed if Donovan would have been retained this time. And I don't think either one of those things are true. I think Dylan Raiola ended up coming to Nebraska because it fell through at Georgia. It fell through at Ohio State. He needed to go somewhere where he felt like he could start. And I think it had more to do with that than really the hiring of his uncle or his dad being a legacy or what. I mean, those things all obviously played a role in it.
Everything exists on a continuum.
Yeah, it just felt like the opportunities were presented perfectly for him at that time.
You're saying football recruiting is a spectrum?
It is. It's linear.
Yeah, and you know, maybe Chris was just running down Donovan Raiola and his offensive line coaching.
Yeah.
And saying, like, what if the offensive line was better in front of Dylan Raiola for 2 years?
Sure, that's also possible.
I mean,
Chris, let us know what you were referring to there.
I think that look, Dylan Raiola is a quarterback who likes to sit in the pocket and read things, right? He has learned from some pretty high level NFL quarterbacks. And what do high level NFL quarterbacks usually have?
Get through their progression.
High level offensive lines in front of them that give them time to do all those progression reads and everything, right? So again, the fit, maybe it wasn't right for for the way he wants to play the game, for his skill set, like all those things. The other thing about Matt Rule's comments, now that we've gotten completely off track, was
Thanks,
you
Dan.
mentioned it when Sip asked Matt Rule about, hiring all these new coaches. Is this a program reset? That sent that man's temperature through the roof. I mean, Matt Rule was upset by that question. And he went on to say that, we're building.
Yeah.
And that Bill Belichick told him that it takes 3 years at least to get the staff right. And they're trying to get the staff right. And look, I don't think it was a ridiculous question from Sip.
I don't need
Because from the outside looking in, when you have changed your staff as much as he has in 3 years, it certainly looks like you're just resetting all the time. And like you're resetting because you've changed offensive philosophies. Now you're changing defensive philosophies, right? Like we have gone through these iterations of Nebraska football where, like, when Matt Rule came in, you had Tony White and Marcus Satterfield as your offensive and defensive philosophers, right?
Yep.
Now you have Dana Holgerson, who's pretty different than Marcus Satterfield in terms of philosophy.
Seemingly.
And Rob Ulrich, who's going to run a completely different system from what John Butler and Tony White were running when they were the defensive coordinator. So from the outside looking in, it does look like a reset. This looks like you're starting over.
You brought in a new run game coordinator too, which I think a lot of people maybe gloss over. And this is going to be one of those really weird seasons, but that it's really hard to criticize the run game because not one guy, but the run game itself was really good when Emmett Johnson was the running back.
Oh yeah.
It was really bad when he wasn't, though. So it's really hard to dissect those
different.
two things. Yeah, for sure. And that's maybe the thing I'm the most intrigued by for the bowl game, because Emmett's not going to play, obviously, and we found out today Dasan McCullough is not going to play as well to get ready to get healed up and get ready for the All-Star games. But that's the most intriguing storyline for me heading into the Vegas Bowl is who is running back number one and what, because is it going to be Isaiah Mosaic? It kind of feels like it's going to be with the way the carries get win at the end of the year, but like he's clearly not a full-time running back.
Yeah, I did. You could tell that it was his first time playing running back. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a tremendous athlete and he's got great football skills, but he's an inexperienced running back. Right now, I think it almost has to be Mekhi Nelson.
That's my thought too.
Mark my words, 12 days out from the bowl game, any running back on this roster right now will have less rushing yards than TJ Lateef does in that bowl game.
That's a bad problem to have.
That's a really bad problem to have, but I think that unfortunately it feels like this bowl game is going to be a bit of a wash. This is the Kyle Whittingham retirement tour right now.
No, it's not. Did you not see his comments today?
Well, it's the retirement from Utah tour.
Yeah.
I actually literally just read his comment on Twitter
I think
that
might be your next head coach at Michigan, folks.
Follow after hour 1620, folks. That's where I read all of my Kyle Whittingham quotes.
Yeah, listen, we got to get to Bob Williams of Williams Law. We'll dive into more of this with Brian Munson when he comes up at 6:30. If you missed the opening segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Allo Fiber. I've been rocking with Allo for over 2 years now. There's been a tremendous amount of difference in my internet speed. I don't have any circling on my TV for buffering. I can get all the way. I got a Wi-Fi extender on my house. I get 2 blocks away from my house, still be connected to my internet. If you want to get out of the Stone Age and get an all fiber network right up to your house, head over to allofiber.com/Husker Radio tonight. Sign up for the official internet provider of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. It's Allo Fiber. We'll be right back. Catch up with Bob Williams, the Williams Law Talking Gambling, 16.0.
No liquor left on the shelf. I should probably introduce myself. You should have seen what I wore.
Hey, everybody, it's John here, and I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen good, okay? We are getting real close to Christmas. And you know somebody in your life, you know the guy who shows up, and you look at him, and you go, what are we doing? What is this? You look terrible. What are you even wearing?
Why'd you look at me?
And you know what you have to do. You have to go to 78th and Dodge, and you have to introduce that man to some quality, fashionable clothing. Because I know here in the Midwest, we don't like to don't look too fancy. Don't stick out in the crowd. It's time to grow up, and it's time to dress yourself and your friends like grown-ups. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has all you need to get that man in your life on the right wardrobe track for Christmas and the New Year. Stop in at 78th and Dodge. Check out all the great things that they have in stock in the fall and winter lineup. Tonight am wearing my Johnny O pullover with the little Nebraska logo on it. It's great. It's stretchy. It's comfy. It's easy to take care of. It comes off the hanger as soon as it comes out of the wash. It's one of my favorite things to wear, and I got it right there at 78th and Dodge. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. They've got the Christmas gifts for the man in your life who needs a fashion upgrade. Check them out. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Boys Town Ear, Nose, and Throat Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7.
Definitely a bit breezy outside on your Friday afternoon, but that south breeze has warmed us up a little bit in comparison to yesterday. We're lower 40s. This evening will be in the mid-30s, and we stay that way for a lot of the overnight hours with clouds increasing a bit. Your Saturday, breezy start, but in the afternoon, that wind may calm a little bit, and we'll have high temperatures again, mid and low 40s. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Railcars Happy Hour is here. Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close, and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8, and every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Railcar's incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday. Railcar Modern American Kitchen, 144th and Blondo.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
It's cold weather season, and when it gets cold outside, pests want to come inside. From spiders to rodents, now is the time to prep your home for the winter months. An end-of-the-year pest control checkup can keep mice out of your walls, spiders out of your corners, and can even prevent the occasional squirrel or raccoon from trying to make themselves at home. Don't let unwanted guests, besides your in-laws, crash your holidays. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
For the third year in a row, Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola present Zooliteful, a holiday celebration at Henry Dorley Zoo. Now through December 28th, stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee through the holiday season and grab Coke 12 packs for just $4.99 when you buy 4. Also, Dasani 24-pack water is $3.99. Get down to Henry Dorley Zoo and celebrate the holidays with Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola.
Merry Christmas from Controlled Comfort. This holiday, get a full heat pump system or a high-efficiency AC system for just $2,000 more than a furnace alone. This price is calculated after all available rebates and tax credits. Don't wait. Get ready for the Nebraska summer heat now. Call Controlled Comfort.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
The Kansas City Chiefs' quest for 4 consecutive AFC championships can be heard all season long on your home for Kansas City Chiefs football in Omaha. 1620 The Zone and 1290 Core.
You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs as the AFC champion.
Chiefs football is presented by J. Stannett Contracting. We have you covered.
IBEW Local 22 is hiring in Omaha. All levels, from journeyman to newbies. Enjoy great pay, full medical, and secure retirement. No experience? No problem. They'll train you. Power your career with IBEW Local 22. Call Mike at 402-810-0789 today.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, time to get out of the house. Enjoy Nebraska's many state parklands on those nice days when we get them. Grounds are open for all kinds of outdoor recreation. You just need to bring your own water, have your current state park permit, and bring along some money for those camping fees if you want to camp out. Park it in a park, a state park. I'm Greg Wagner.
Out here in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. And sometimes that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up. You have trouble sleeping. Maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Smokey the Bear. Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
6:30 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus. Tonight, Brian Munson from Husker Online and On 3 now joins us. B. Muntz, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Well, we have to ask, where in the world is Brian Munson right now?
South of Wichita. There was some unfortunate logistical planning on our part. I forgot about a little football game in Norman.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we actually saw the Alabama team. So that was fun. But yeah, a lot more traffic tonight than what we typically would have would have had to go through.
Is Mrs. Munson in the car with you?
Oh yeah, she's
Okay.
listening right now.
Is she?
She's she elbowed me earlier because I said, "Oh, now we're gonna roll the dice, go through Norman anyway," and yeah. So she was.
I can imagine she's
she
not.
was right.
There it is. That's what I was looking for. Hey, the Nebraska obviously got some unwanted news about the 2027 class. Jabari Watkins decommits earlier this week. What do you think for a guy that never even came to Lincoln? What do you think the catalyst was for that decommitment?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what the catalyst was for him to commit.
Fair enough.
I mentioned in Tunnel Talk this morning. I said, the only thing that's more questionable or crazy about this whole story, than the decommitment, is the commitment. I mean, it's just, he never visited. He went to the Illinois Indiana game. Source told me that he really wanted to go to Indiana earlier on. I think he actually wanted to go to Illinois after that because Indiana wasn't interested. I think Illinois might have even passed, and then he was talking about visiting Nebraska and just never even visited, just committed out of the blue. I think it caught everybody off guard. I mean, he's a heck of a player. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They just won the state title there a night or two ago. So I think it's just one of those oddball stories. I think I said in Tunnel Talk this morning, I said, the commitment lasted just a couple months less than what I thought it would. Nobody ever acknowledged it. Not the Nebraska coaching staff didn't acknowledge it. His head coach didn't acknowledge it. In fact, I think it was one of his coaches finally from his school retweeted his decommitment. It's been odd. It's been incredibly odd. So I think it's good for Nebraska to get refocused here.
I want to ask, because there's obviously the discussion around the Texas Tech program, maybe making a few phone calls to some players, maybe just trying to drive up the market on certain guys. Is there a possibility that there's players kind of following that mold, or maybe with that same mindset as well, as if I say I'm committed here, it may garner more money or more attention from another school that may actually want me and try to get them to push a little harder to get me?
I mean, it definitely could. I mean, you're playing a dangerous game.
Right.
I mean, that walks away a lot easier than the other way. So I think Tech is smart. I mean, remember playing all the board games as a kid, and you want to drive up the price of your opponents. It's just real world applied now.
Sure.
So Nebraska, Texas Tech is out there. They're making a couple of phone calls or throwing a couple of things out there, about, I'll throw a couple of things out there about what they could be interested, who they could be interested in, and what they could be paying. I think that's interesting there. But I think the other side of it is, I was just listening to the the playoff broadcast here a second ago, and they kind of went through the top quarterbacks out there. And of course, Raiola's out there and Hoover's out there and a couple other guys are on the list. And, none of these guys clearly have a place to kind of go yet. And I think the other side of it is true, is what I'm trying to get to, where you've got maybe potentially an Oregon who's going to be in need, that's just purposely kind of keeping their cards very close to their vest. And I think maybe what you have there is because, Lanning has a style. He has a plan. He's been doing it, basically every single year or two, where he brings in basically a junior or a senior quarterback. Now he could try to keep the market down a little bit to go get his guy. So hopefully you can go ahead and put some additional, dollars in some other places that he has to go out there and get guys to play. So I think it's kind of interesting that Tech is playing that way. They seem to have this endless amount of money anyway. And then I think Oregon playing it very interesting as well, or in other teams where they're just kind of keeping stuff quiet right now. And, when they want to go ahead and pounce on a guy, I think Oregon and teams that keep consistently making the playoffs, it kind of sells themselves, because it's kind of this, those guys that are like Hoover and Raiola, they're winning, they're playing, they're making money and they're playing, but they want to go win. They want to go win a national championship. They want to go to the playoffs. So that's what they're really in pursuit of.
But Brian, we've seen a couple of guys report that they've gotten offers from Jeep Wade already. How do you think the approach to offensive line recruiting changes with the new O-line coach?
Well, I mean, he's more active. I mean, that's the first thing. I mean, it's one of those things where I just did not hear Donnie Raiola's name a whole heck of a lot, unless it was stuff like on campus. I have to say this, though. I mean, his players, and once the recruits had kind of met him, they loved him.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely loved him. He was absolutely like this kind of leader spiritually, kind of guy, this guru. And they all really kind of, enjoyed him being the assistant coach. But I have to admit, I mean, we've all been talking about it now for years, where you see a very good board like to start out the year. And then by the time official visits are coming around, those top offensive tackles that had visited the fall before, they're nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found. Nebraska's not in the picture any longer. And I think Nebraska now with Wade, I think that is a situation where, he's going to recruit a little bit harder. I think he's going after some guys that obviously he knows. And I think that's going to really be helpful to the overall game plan for Nebraska, particularly in the 2027 class.
We're catching up with Brian Munson from Husker Online and On 3 here on After Hours. Brian, obviously, the head coach himself talked today kind of about recruiting philosophy, specifically when it comes to quarterback. Now, they're in a precarious situation where you have your perennial guy in the starter in TJ Lateef, and Matt Rule almost said as much today, and then you got the air incumbent in Trey Taylor coming in after next season. What do you think Nebraska does in the transfer portal, if at all anything, at the quarterback position?
Oh, they're going to have to.
Right?
Oh
they have
gosh.
to, yeah.
They have to go to the portal. I mean, look, in our chat on Tuesday, somebody was asking like, well, hey, if TJ Lateef plays well in the bowl game, like, what do you think the chances are that he bolts? And I was like, I think there's a chance that TJ Lateef, even if he doesn't play in the bowl game, could bolt.
Oh,
I mean, because listen, are you ready right now to go ahead and call TJ Lateef your starting quarterback next fall? The way that things stand right now, are you 100% convinced that you are competing for a playoff type of successful team? And I don't think the answer to the question is yes. It's not a knock on Lateef. He's just a young player. He needs another year to kind of physically mature, kind of see some things more. He was, you really got him out of his progression. Like when Raiola goes down against USC, and then all of a sudden he gets kind of thrown to the wolves after that. He wins at UCLA, loses the next two, pretty big, and then gets hurt in the last game. I think Nebraska has to go out, and they're looking for a starting quarterback. That's legitimately what I feel Nebraska is going to be doing when it comes to the portal. Is you're going out there and you're trying to find a guy that you feel like is capable of, okay, behind this offensive line, we're looking for a guy maybe with a little bit more mobility, and we're looking for a guy that we feel like is just looking for that right opportunity. Somebody that's playing, somebody that's being a little bit more, is being successful, but needs to get into like those power conferences. I think Nebraska's absolutely looking for a starting quarterback next year out of the portal.
So who do you like that's in the portal right now? Who do you think they should go after?
Well, I mean, we were just having this conversation, my wife and I, because we know Josh Hoover. He was actually her office aide in middle school. and he actually came out and watched Jake, long snap at the TCU camp this summer. Great kid. Josh makes sense. He's not the most overly mobile guy, but I don't know. I mean, I could make an argument for, I like the UNC kid again. Not a great mobility guy, Levitt. I think that's probably the top guy on everybody's board. Right. I think that he makes the most sense, I think, for Nebraska based on the skills and where we kind of think, the things have been missing so far, like within like Nebraska's offense. But I think things have got to improve up front still, guys. I think you have to, whether that's coaching or it's a player or two that gets added to it. I think things have got to improve for Nebraska's offensive line overall. You're going to get a little bit more of a benefit by having a guy with some mobility, but you still want to have a guy that's a throw first, run second guy. You don't want a guy just running for his life because it's like Minnesota all over again. That could not happen. That cannot be the way that the Big Ten Conference plays out again next fall.
Do you think there's any chance that Nebraska tries to get back in on Zane Flores?
I'm just not sure on that one. I don't know if there's enough there to kind of feel like he's ready or capable to kind of go into the Big Ten and be that guy. I know he's a hometown kid. I know he's an excellent talent. And I'm definitely not sitting here telling people that he's a bad player. I'm not. I'm literally coming from a perspective of, if Nebraska doesn't think that they're evaluating a guy that can win them 9-10 games next year, they need to move on. They really do. They need to try to find those types of players that they feel like can get them not just an inch closer to a conference championship. They need to find somebody that's going to help them get into like an at-large situation. And they need to find those. And if you're looking at your board and you're judging it right now, and you're getting ready to start bringing visitors in January, if you're asking yourself that question, if you're starting from that point, and you say no, this is not a guy that can do that, you need to move on. You need to move on. I just don't feel like there's that kind of time, and I think that there's this massive reset button that Nebraska and every other program around the nation can hit every single year. But it's not just Nebraska. Everybody has to understand that. You can't just hold on for the sake of holding on. Nebraska is going to have to learn. They have to reset as much as they need to reset every single year and put together the roster that they feel will allow them to go chase a playoff berth or an at-large berth. That's what you need to be thinking about.
The school that's come up at the top of the list for Dylan Raiola seems to be Louisville lately. Dylan Raiola leaves Nebraska and ends up at Louisville. Does that say more about Nebraska or more about Dylan
Raiola? That's a great point. I mean, it's a great way to think about it. I mean, I kind of mentioned it again in Tunnel Talk this morning that, Louisville to me it's a lateral move. Do they maybe have a better path potentially to get into the playoffs if they get the right quarterback? Maybe. That's maybe the one way to look at it. They might have an easier road to get to the playoffs. I think they're going to throw more money at him, but I don't think that this is a money, decision. I mean, if you really go back and you look at the first 2 years and like what it really meant for Dylan, I mean, there's $5.5 million in the bank, right? You $2 million the first year. So there's about $5.5 million in the bank.
Right.
It's not a money deal. It's not a playing time deal. It's about a better opportunity to try to go out there and be successful. So you're not looking for lateral. You're absolutely looking for a place, and it may not have the name of Oregon, or Michigan or something like that. But if you look at a Louisville like that way, if it's like, hey, it's like put quarterback here and add water, and we can be a playoff team. That is not necessarily a lateral move. It could potentially be a huge boost. And who's to say that Dylan just wouldn't go ahead and do it again, or declare after leading Louisville to the playoffs in the 1 year he was there. So I don't know. I mean, I see the yes and the no to that answer, but I think it makes sense. I think he's going to get paid a ton to go to a school like that. I think in the eyes of many, it's going to be a lateral, but I think he could be uber successful if he decided to go ahead and do it.
That's Brian Munson from Husker Online. Follow him at Brian Munson _ or subscribe to HuskerOnline.com today. B. Munson, we appreciate it. We'll catch up with you next week. Safe travels.
Happy holidays, guys. You and all your listeners. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon.
You missed Brian's segment tonight. Check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Bob Williams of Williams Law. If you or your loved one are facing litigation, or maybe you got some questions about a legal situation, criminal, civil, personal, Bob can handle it all. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Get a free, no obligation legal consultation with Bob and his team. We'll be right back on the other side of the break, finding out what's trending on social media right now at 620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for the fine folks at Paul Davis Restoration. Look, this time of year, the last thing you want is to have a water situation in your house. Yeah, those pipes can burst. The hoses outside, if they weren't disconnected, they can break those faucets, and then you get a leak. We had one of those at our house a couple of years ago. It is an absolute mess that you do not want to have to deal with yourself, and that's why you call Paul Davis. They will bring a team out to clean up whatever situation you got, and they'll be there in a flash, getting your home fixed up back to the way it was before the damage happened. They can help you with water damage, smoke damage, mold mitigation, whatever it is. Paul Davis is the place to call if you have an emergency situation. Call Paul Davis for all of your home repair needs.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers, starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio. Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Hi, I'm Alex Drake, your local mortgage expert from Lincoln Federal Savings Bank. I'm here to guide you with personalized service, low down payment options, quick approvals, and low rates and fees. Let's get you pre-qualified today so that you know what you can afford before you start shopping. Call me today at 402-493-5599 or visit LincolnFed.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Personal banking like you remember.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.652 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Download the BU Bruins app to your smartphone tonight to keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus tonight. One thing we didn't really talk much about in the opening segment was the lack of guys available on defense for the bowl game. Obviously, Dasan McCullough, who's one of the key linchpins of the entire defense this season, is not going to play. Malcolm Hartzog has entered the transfer portal, and he was banged up all season, not really readily available, but was a voice for the defense. Rob Orch's job over the next couple of weeks is going to be really interesting because you've got to evaluate the guys that you have.
Yep.
You got to work the portal to bring in some pieces that you think you need, but you're also going to be evaluating on a curve because these guys that are going to play in the bowl game aren't going to be playing within your system. Now, you can see some angles and some ways some guys play a certain technique, and that's going to give you a good idea of what they can do and fit in your system. But you're not really going to have that apples to apples comparison. We know Kyle Whittingham is leaving Utah. We know his guys are going to want to play for him to send him out the right way. Who for Nebraska on defense, without the two guys I just mentioned that aren't going to be available, obviously, is the most important guy for you heading into this bowl game?
Most important guy heading into the bowl game
defensively.
On defense. From a future perspective or this game perspective?
Just specifically the Vegas Bowl. I asked myself this question earlier, and I couldn't come up with a name.
I mean,
it kind of feels like Riley Van Poppel.
The answer is the entire defensive line.
Yeah.
Like that's the right answer. So by default, it's like Riley Van Poppel because he's the man in the middle. Like Nebraska, if they're going to win this game, it's because they stop the run. And if they lose this game, it's going to be the way they lost every game they lost this season. They got absolutely trucked in the run game. Like, so for this game, it's the defense. The defensive line has to be better. And, Matt Rule said today that he's been helping coach the defensive line.
Yeah.
And we heard Phil Snow say, you need to put your hat on backwards and go coach D lineman again. And we heard, I don't remember which player it was today. It might've been Van Poppel who said like they showed up at the weight room and he was literally standing there with his hat on backwards, waiting for them to arrive.
So you answered my question with a question. You said for this game or going forward, and I'm going to be interested to see your answer to going forward, because for me going forward, I think it's Williams Nwaneri. I think he's by far the most important piece going forward.
Yeah, Williams Nwaneri, you have to get better pass rush out of him than you got this season.
Sure.
You just have to.
Right.
Like that's a guy who has 5-star talent, who you brought into this program,
who flashed this year. I don't want to make it sound like he didn't do anything.
It's got to be consistent. It's got to be every game the other team is worried about where Williams Nwaneri is lining up. And there were games this season where you're like, did Williams Nwaneri play?
You'd say that about a lot of guys on the defense.
Certainly. But and then there were other games where like, whoa, that's a dude. You got something there, but he's just got to be more consistent. Like they've got to get the maximum out of him every play. And maybe a new defensive line coach can do that. Maybe a new defensive system, maybe
the head coach being in his room can do that.
And playing with 4 down instead of 3 down, maybe that helps him out. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but you just have to get more out of that guy.
Have you been a little bit surprised that there haven't been more guys jumping into the portal on that side of the ball?
Well, the portal's not open yet.
Right, but it is.
And there might be a...
It always is.
Honestly, though, like being 100% serious, there's one more game where some guys are going to get to put plays on tape.
Yep.
And they may not have a lot of plays on tape from the season, but now that some other guys are not going to play in this game, they have a chance to put some things on tape. I don't think we're done hearing about players.
I don't
going
either.
into the
I've just
portal.
been a little surprised with the lack of guys. I expected there to be more guys jumping in. I mean, obviously Malcolm and Dylan have done so already. I just thought there would be a few more guys, specifically in certain positions, probably that defensive back room more than anything, that are going to do so.
Well, I think Hartzog is the first domino.
There's just a lot of dudes in that room.
Yeah, like the way that group played without him was still pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think, if he's got designs on starting next year, it's going to be real hard with the way that group played this year for him to find his way consistently into the starting lineup. So, yeah, I mean, I think that it's probably smart for him to go into the portal. But I don't know. I don't think there's too much more that can happen as far as depart. I think that the defensive backfield, he might be the only one we see go, honestly, from the defensive backs.
We dive into the scariest place on earth, the mind of Dan Campenden. We come back. We'll get to Buy or Sell. If you missed our final segment of the first hour tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It's brought to you by Recon Pest Control. Listen, it's going to start getting warm next week. I know that's weird to say before Christmas. That's going to probably bring some critters out from their hibernation for just a little bit to get a little of that warm weather in. Don't let them find hibernation in your home. Head over to ReconPestServices.com. See a field mice or maybe a snake crawling around that you don't want in your backyard. ReconPestServices.com is the place for you. Buy or sell. The other side of the break. 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for AX Plumbing. Home or residential, they can do it all. Listen, how do I know that? They've done it for me. They've installed a urinal at my business. They've come out and they've water jetted my entire main line in my house out to the street. If you have big-time plumbing problems, AX Plumbing has the big-time plumbing solutions. Whether it be main drain issues, maybe you have a wax ring underneath your toilet that's coming up. Whatever the plumbing problem is, AX Plumbing has a solution. Head over to axpservice.com. Work with Nick and the team tonight. If you have a big-time plumbing problem, but a little plumbing budget, there's financing available as well. Check out axpservice.com tonight.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
It's cold weather season, and when it gets cold outside, pests want to come inside. From spiders to rodents, now is the time to prep your home for the winter months. An end-of-the-year pest control checkup can keep mice out of your walls, spiders out of your corners, and can even prevent the occasional squirrel or raccoon from trying to make themselves at home. Don't let unwanted guests, besides your in-laws, crash your holidays. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Merry Christmas from Controlled Comfort. This holiday, get a full heat pump system or a high-efficiency AC system for just $2,000 more than a furnace alone. This price is calculated after all available rebates and tax credits. Don't wait. Get ready for the Nebraska summer heat now. Call Controlled Comfort.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Cross Strain Brewing Company, the official sponsor of One Beer Friday on 1620 The Zone, where beer is Nebraska fresh, never boring, and always evolving. Find them at the original location in La Vista, at their DraftWorks location downtown, or at crossstrainbrewing.com.
Happy Honda Days is going on right now at Superior Honda of Omaha. Get incredible savings on every new 2025 and every new 2026. Hundreds to choose from. See all the bargains online at hondaofomaha.com. Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Top of the second hour here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become number one in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They can do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. Dan Campbell has written by herself tonight. Dan, what do you got for us?
I've got a lot of confusing things that apparently I did not know how to use the English language today, so bear with me.
This is going to be fun.
Y'all remember Will Muschamp? The boy
Yeah.
is back as
Uh-huh.
the DC of TEXAS, as we were just talking
Horns down.
off air. Horns down forever. Buy or sell. Sark needs a turnaround to not get the hook next year.
I still don't think he's going to be there next year anyway. I think he's going to be heading to the NFL sooner rather than later. So, Will Muschamp is obviously an interesting hire because there's just this trend in college football where it's like, hey, did you ever coach somewhere before? You want to go back there and work? That's just what we're going to do now. Let's run back 2007. It was a fun year. Yeah, I mean, listen, if he's going to stay in Austin, he's got to win next season. If he's smart, he's going to leave sooner rather than later. But yeah, I think he's absolutely got to make a college football appearance, college football playoff appearance, at the very least next season.
What, do you remember how weird it was when Will Muschamp was the DC at Texas?
I do. It was not good vibes.
And then he was named the coach in waiting.
Yeah.
And then a year later, he's like, coach in waiting. See ya. I'm the coach at Florida now.
Yep. And it didn't go well, by the way.
And it didn't go like it was such a weird time because it was just like, you're going to take over the Texas job if you just hang out, dude. And then he went and became a bad coach at Florida.
So, no, I'm not actually.
It was very strange. And now to see him back in burnt orange is even more bizarre for anybody who remembers
things
that
I did
time.
not have on my bingo card.
Yeah, but as far as your question, Dan, no, I don't think Sark necessarily needs a turnaround next year. I think he's at least safe for next season, barring unmitigated disaster. You know,
oh no, disaster!
Like they start off 0-4 or something like that, then he's probably. I mean, any coach is not safe from that.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter what.
Ask
your name
James
is.
Franklin.
It doesn't matter who you are. But I don't necessarily think he needs a turnaround. I think they just need to get back to being the team that they were, for the last couple of seasons.
Dan,
Those are all fair points. I
have an opinion.
think that Coach Steve Sarkisian needs to have the best season and go to the college football playoff and possibly win a national championship next year to actually keep his job. It's the amount of talent.
I don't necessarily disagree with you.
You mean you don't trust the patience of the boosters at Texas?
No.
What a weird take.
I don't trust many things that are in Austin, Texas.
That's a good take.
At the top of that list is the university that resides in Austin.
The barbecue's pretty good.
Hey, Hard A barbecue. Hit it up.
I didn't say I didn't trust anything that's in Austin. Just a lot of things. Looking at you, Joe Rogan.
My friend
Moving
Dave
on.
Noriega, I trust him.
Famously,
Shout out Dave. Hopefully he
Michigan does not have a football coach right now, technically. All eyes have moved to Tempe,
Allegedly.
according to the rumor mill. Buy or sell Dilly doesn't dally in taking that job.
I think it's Kyle Whittingham, man. I really do. I said it earlier. I really think it's Kyle Whittingham. I think that's who your next head coach at Michigan's going to be. I don't know if you can get a better option than for what's available right now.
I hadn't seen that quote when I wrote this question.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And
Well,
it made me go, crap. Number two's bad.
Reading the Athletics story about Kenny Dillingham today, they laid out a pretty interesting situation where, like, early on in the process, he was all, like very emotional about staying and it being his alma mater and his home, and he loves it there. And then more recently, the comments have been evasive and like doing what's best for those that go to war with him, and like just being really cryptic about the whole thing. So it sounds really weird. I don't know, man. It seems like it's Dillingham at this point to me.
Is there a world where Kenny Dillingham leaves for Utah?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But
They sold out, like in that story, they said Arizona State sold out their home games for the first time in memory this season. And that, like, and they're putting some of that money into the NIL profit sharing kitty. So they're going to have a bigger war chest to go out and get transfer portal players. Like, they're doing all the things to support the good coach that they have on the sidelines. I don't know that you get that at Utah.
Fair enough.
Kyle Whittingham is known for doing more with less. Like, and that's what he's been known for the entire time he's been the head coach at Utah.
I don't know. So with the Whittingham of it all, that's the thing that interests me now. Is because I could see Whittingham or Dillingham going to
Somebody Ham.
Yeah, there's going to be Ham in Michigan next year.
Poll
But-
question up at After Hour 1620. Is there going to be Ham in Michigan next year?
If Whittingham is the guy to take the Michigan job, then I could see Dillingham leaving to go to Utah because it's a little bit of a bigger stage. You have, granted, a little bit less to work with. And I think he enjoys the challenge of doing that. But if he, quote unquote, wants to do the best for those that go to war with him, you get a cabin in Petoskey, you keep the boat in Grosse Pointe, and you buy a house just outside of Ann Arbor in a nice neighborhood. You got to go to Michigan, baby. Because we all know that when he says he's doing the best for the people that go to war with him, he's talking about his wife and his family,
Fair enough.
not his players.
What else?
Or maybe he's talking about his players.
He's talking about Ham.
Could be.
I like
Ham is great.
Ham's good.
Rough week in the owner's box, boys. Jimmy, put up the graphic. Micah Parsons blew out that left ACL, and Josh Jacobs is still questionable. Bright light at the end of that tunnel, though. Christian Watson, he's allegedly full go. Buy or sell, the Packers still have hope and a prayer to get a win in the playoffs.
To get a win in the playoffs?
To get a win in the playoffs.
Buddy, they got
Probably
to
taking on
get
the
to the
Seahawks, but
playoffs first. That NFC playoff picture is
Getting
rocky.
cloudy. It's getting cloudier and cloudier by the day.
Yeah, no, I don't. Look, man, I don't know that they're going to make it. First of all, so
yeah, they got to catch Chicago. They're only a game and a half back, or just one game back.
I don't think that they are going to win a playoff game at all. Like, I don't think this looks good.
Yeah, I mean they're one game back of the division. I believe they're 2 games ahead in the wild card, so they'll probably make it. I'm not going to say they're not going to make it, but losing Mike Parsons is a big deal. I mean, they obviously did what they did to acquire him because it was a necessity. I'm with John, Dan. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be a early celebration on the yacht for all the owners of the Green Bay Packers this year.
Gosh darn it. Also,
Who was that, and what did they want?
that was Josh.
A shot, Josh Land.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I would recognize
Somebody
that
we
voice.
actually care about. Okay.
Yeah, a real Josh. If it was Josh Land, that phone call would have been a lot shorter
Yeah, Dan would have hung up.
and a lot less cordial. He put a mean graphic on my desk this week. So
What did Josh want?
Josh wanted to let us know that there actually is already a head coach in waiting at Utah. It is allegedly their defensive coordinator.
Allegedly. I think that's important to point out.
Yeah. Lucas Van Ness, not a Micah Parsons-esque edge rusher. I do have faith that he can maybe do better because he's been getting tutored basically by Micah Parsons all season. So that gives me a little bit of hope. And if I'm going to believe the least believable man in sports media, AKA Dan Orlovsky.
Remember when he ran out of the back of the end zone that one time?
I do. It runs through my head all the time because he did it for who?
The Detroit Lions.
They still suck. As do the Bears. But he said on national television today, when the question was posed to him, can the Packers still make the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl? He said, yes, as long as Jordan Love has Christian Watson. I do not know how.
And he's paying for random strangers as bar tabs.
Yeah, I do not know how Christian Watson is going to play, but I still have faith in my Packers. Speaking
Hey,
of
really quick, I want to touch on the Morgan Scalley of it all. And I know he's been officially named the head coach by the university, but like, what happens if a better option opens up? That was my yeah. I mean, it's probably a far-fetched thought, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities.
I don't think Dillingham would go to Utah anyway, so I think it's a moot point.
I mean, the way college football's going, they're clearly just going to hire Urban Meyer back because he coached there one time.
I personally think that Michigan should just do the right thing and just hire Biff Poggi full time, because
Dan, you also said that about Sharon Moore.
Yeah, technically didn't say that about Sharon Moore. I said he's just there. He knows what it takes.
But we haven't talked about this.
You called it a good hire.
How many times has the hometown guy who's just been waiting for the opportunity and
out.
finally gets it? How many times has that actually worked out?
Not a whole lot.
Not very often.
Jim Tressel did fine.
Did he? Remember how that ended?
Yeah. Speaking of the playoffs, back to
Hey,
the
Jim
NFL.
Tressel wasn't just sitting there. He was the Youngstown State head coach.
I know. Jimmy,
Okay, I was like, what?
your Niners are probably going to get it, but boy, oh boy. That NFC West. Buy or sell last night's game might get a part 2 in the postseason.
The game was phenomenal.
It was, but I've been adamant that before the season started, I thought the NFC West was going to be the toughest division in football. Injuries may have derailed that at the beginning of the season. And Dan, your NFC North has probably got a little bit of discussion. The AFC West is no walk in the park either. But man, that Seattle defense is for real. I don't know if you know this. Sam Darnold's pretty good at football, apparently. And
How the Vikings feeling?
Jackson Smith and Jigba might just be the best player in football this year. And then you got the LA Rams, who just got a 40-year-old gunslinger and Puka Nacua, and that defense is also really good. Like, you got 3 teams right now, today, in the NFC West that have 10 or more wins. The season isn't even close to over yet.
Yep.
So it's I think San Francisco is going to make the playoffs.
You're going to have 10 wins to make the playoffs in the
Well,
NFC.
they've got 10 now. They're at 10-4. The Rams are 11-3, and the Seahawks are 12-4 too. I think 12. LA's 11-4 and Seattle's 12-3.
But like Seattle seems like they made the right hire at head coach. Mike McDonald seems like
it's working out.
Seems like he's doing pretty well. I just don't know.
But back to Dan's conversation a minute ago about the Packers. There's been a lot of discussion about people like allegedly calling for Matt LaFleur's job. To Dan Campbell, the owner of the Green Bay Packers, and the folks that like the G's on the helmets, you need to take a little bit of inventory
Just
of what
chill.
you got. Yeah,
just chill. Yeah.
Whoa.
The
Who's calling
Rams
for Matt LaFleur's job?
It was a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's kind of quiet down when they lost to the Browns. A lot of people were like, "Wow, is it time?" Then they lost the Eagles and the Panthers, and they're like, "Oh, well, we got to run them out of town now." And then they went on that 4 or 5 game win streak, and then it was like, "We love our head coach," and then now he's lost since they lost to the Broncos. It's like, well, maybe it's time. It's not time. Shut up.
No, Seattle and LA. Like, if that would have been the Super Bowl, that would have been an awesome ending to the season.
It would have been very weird because they're both NFC.
Yeah, they
teams.
can't play each other in the Super Bowl, which kind of sucks because I'd love to see that again.
It's the same reason that I would love to see the Bills and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but we can't get that either.
No, mostly because the Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs.
Zing! What do we got, Dan?
Oh, the last question?
Yeah.
Later on tonight, something we could all care less about is going to happen. Huge blank hat, Jake Paul, is going to fight Anthony Joshua. Lots of bets coming in on the Paul side of that fight. Buy or sell, there is any kind of chance that this fight is not rigged.
What's less than 0? -4.
We can go negative numbers.
-4% chance that the fight isn't rigged.
Yes.
So
If Jake Paul watches this fight, listen, I'm making a declaration on the show. Jake Paul wins this fight, we are never talking about Jake Paul on the show
No.
again.
If Jake Paul loses this fight, we never have to talk about Jake Paul on
Fair-
the show
fair
again.
Listen, if Jake Paul, we're never talking about Jake Paul again on the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all silly. It's just
I do kind of hope
It's-
Anthony Joshua just rips his head off, though.
it's such a circus and it's so dumb. He fights basketball players and now suddenly he's ranked.
He did beat Mike Tyson that one time.
It just I don't know.
You've never beaten Mike Tyson in a fight.
Honestly, I don't even want to answer the question because I'm so tired of it.
I kind of forgot what the question was. What was the actual question?
Was it rigged?
Oh, yeah,
rigged,
yeah.
that's
Is there a chance that this isn't rigged whatsoever?
There's a chance that it's not rigged.
Yeah. There's a chance that it's not rigged. And
Chance the NBA is not rigged, too. There's a chance.
that envelope was never frozen. Settle down. Patrick Ewing was going to be a Nick the whole time. No, I have to give a little bit of credit where credit is due because Jake Paul knows how to get eyes on him. And if your persona that you have, and fun fact, there's a Netflix show about both of the Paul brothers. I'm going to let you guess which one of them comes off as not a huge put any expletive.
Yeah, whatever
in
insulting
there
word
that
you want. Yeah.
to. It is amazing to see Jake Paul being like, well, I'm not really this guy in public all the time, and I'm not really,
He's playing a character.
privately I'm quiet and I'm playing a character.
But he's that guy.
Yeah, but it's like at your core, we all saw how you acted as a Vine star, as a YouTube star.
They were both very young. I think that's important to point out.
Not young anymore.
Nope.
Yeah,
And
but
actually,
it's-
I actually think Logan's a decent guy.
when you're continuing the things that you've done over a period of years and
Hold
not
on. I gotta point this out. Did
Really?
you guys see what Logan Paul tweeted the other day?
Mm-mm.
So the Undertaker is doing like a new version of his podcast, and Logan Paul tweets out, "I'm sick of all these YouTubers thinking they could just step into an environment that they weren't born into and being successful." It was pretty funny. Sorry,
Nice.
go ahead.
it's the fact that he hasn't had really any internal personal growth that is obvious to the public to say hey, I am a different person, I am a new guy. It is, I don't want to attack someone's character.
Feel
just,
free to.
as a general thing, but the only reason you were relevant before you started boxing was because of the people that you surrounded yourself with. You dated
No.
a person who
No.
is extremely popular online. And that is the only reason that people cared about you post YouTube career.
Can I go back to your question for
You're
a
not
second?
serious. This fight is not serious.
Can I tell you why there's a -4% chance that this is not rigged? Does anybody
It's his
remember?
promotion?
Does anybody remember who Jake Paul was supposed to fight?
Yeah.
He was supposed to fight Tank Davis. Dan, do you have any idea how tall Tank Davis is?
5'9"?
Gervonta Davis
5'8"?
is 5'5"
Really?
and weighs 135 pounds. You want to take a guess how tall Anthony Joshua is?
6'3"?
6'6".
Is
You want
he
to take a guess
really?
how much he weighs?
238.
245. So you're telling me a guy that has been, quote, prepping for a fight against a 5'5", 135-pound guy is now just going to automatically on a whim take a fight against a 6'6", 245-pound man?
He came in at 216, by the way. Jake did.
Whatever.
Jake Paul came in at
this is the
216.
biggest laughing stock.
Here's
And
here's
he's
what I
like
think
6
of.
foot on a good day.
Dan, your comment about Jake Paul saying he's playing a character. Here's what I'll say, and this isn't an original thought. It comes from another podcast that I listen to. If you are saying that you're doing something ironically, or you're playing a character, or this isn't who I really am, it's just the thing that I do, that's irrelevant. Because the effect of your actions are the same as if you did believe it. Like, if the only person that knows that you don't mean it is that little voice inside your head, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, nobody
because
can
the
hear that.
effects of your actions are as if you really meant it. It doesn't matter what you were thinking about and whether you were not believing that this was the real you while you were doing these things. Those are the things that you actually did. So your internal irony has no bearing on the outcome of your actions.
Yeah. So I would like to point out, and this is something that this person stated very late in their life. Muhammad Ali very clearly at the end of his life said, I was very good in front of the camera, and I knew when people wanted a quote. And he was like, I played up how good I was for the media.
He sold tickets, man.
He's like, but that was the point. He's like, I wasn't putting anyone else down. I was promoting myself and believing in myself.
Which was not true.
Whereas Jake Paul just puts other people down.
Muhammad Ali put plenty of people down.
They didn't really put him down. Like,
he called people a bum and a joke to their face in front of a camera.
But that's boxing disparagement. He said that he was going to beat everyone that he ever faced.
I'm great. I'll beat you in 8. Listen, if you missed Pirate Cell tonight, check it out
All
on our
the
radio
rhymes.
replay page. Check it out on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. The holiday season is here. You know what that means? It's cold weather coming along with it. If your furnace isn't clicking on like it used to, maybe it's rattling, making some noises that you've never heard before. That means you need a maintenance appointment set up. Head over to ControlledComfort.com. Work with Tony and the crew tonight. They'll come out, they'll replace your furnace filter. They'll give you the idea about how long your furnace is going to last. They're never going to hard sell you on anything. They're just going to give you the facts. If you want to work with an HVAC company you can trust, head over to ControlledComfort.com tonight. You know what's a real sport? Soccer. You can watch it right here in Omaha tomorrow. Manny, our good friends from the Omaha Kings and Queens, Manny Veal is going to be with us. Talk about his franchises that are going to be in action tomorrow. You can catch John Schreiner on the call. You can catch Manny in studio. We come back at 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Allo Fiber. Listen, if you're dealing with a Stone Age level internet connection, maybe you're still dealing with dial-up. I don't even know if that's still a thing, but if you are, you need to get away from it as fast as you can. Head over to allofiber.com tonight. Sign up for the new services that are the official internet, TV, and mobile provider of the Huskers. It's Allo Fiber. I've been working with Allo Fiber for over 2 years now. I've got the fastest internet that I've ever had in my home, and it's the most reliable network I've ever been on. Head over to allofiber.com and set up for services tonight.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in the romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Merry Christmas from Controlled Comfort. This holiday, get a full heat pump system or a high-efficiency AC system for just $2,000 more than a furnace alone. This price is calculated after all available rebates and tax credits. Don't wait. Get ready for the Nebraska summer heat now. Call Controlled Comfort.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
The Blue Jay Zone is brought to you by Chandler Conway.
Have you been injured in an accident? You shouldn't have to fight with insurance companies or deal with medical bills alone. You need an experienced injury lawyer who'll protect your rights while you focus on healing. At Chandler Conway, our team understands the legal process and will handle your case with dedication. Our goal is simple: to secure the compensation you deserve. Call us today or visit chandlerconway.com for a free consultation. Don't face this challenge alone. Let us support you every step of the way.
With the end of the Creighton volleyball season, Ava Martin will leave the program, one of the most decorated players in CU history, including the record for the most kills in a Creighton career in the NCAA tournament.
The culture is so special and so amazing. And even the people that transfer in, they really let us know how lucky we are to have what we do. And our big thing is playing with joy. But I'm just so thankful for Creighton. And yeah, it's just a very special place.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
$7:28 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Become #1 in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. Manny Veal, the owner of the Omaha Kings and Queens, good friend of the show, good friend, personal friend of mine and John's, joins us in studio now. Manny, for anybody that's been living under a rock, doesn't know about the incredible things you guys are doing over at Baxter Arena, can you explain who the Omaha Kings and Queens are and what you guys do?
Yeah, the Omaha Kings and Omaha Queens are the only professional indoor soccer team in the whole state of Nebraska. We've been around now for 6 years on the Omaha Kings and 2 years on the Omaha Queens. And this is our second season at Baxter Arena. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. We're owned by a minority-owned business and a female-owned business. And really, it's all about the community and the next generation and make sure that people know we're here and bring some passion and love and everything else to the table.
And you're not only the owner of this team, you're also the head coach and the chief salesman and the public face of the franchise. I mean,
and the janitor.
Hey, that as well.
And,
yep.
And the maintenance. You set up the field and everything.
Yeah.
This is truly this is a small business. This is what it means to be a small business owner, putting your entire person into this thing. And you said you've been doing it for 6 years now. You've moved from a smaller facility into Baxter Arena now. That growth process, I mean, what has that been like for you?
It's been a challenge, but it's been a tremendous growth, not just on the business side, but also personally. It's not just me, right? I do a lot of things, but I also want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife, Natalie, who, if it wasn't for her creating the brand behind the scenes, that is just fantastic. And also my father, Carlos, who also helps me with many things. And also the players, the investors, and the sponsors. Personally, I have faced many challenges. I have faced them, overcame them, and essentially I became a better person learning all these things. We have grown as a business, but it's really about the community. It's really about connecting with God and finding the right energy and finding the guidance to get to the next level. And I think we're getting there after 6 years. Like I said, many challenges.
Yeah.
But we're okay with facing it. We're okay because it's about the love and the passion that we need to do for this community and this market. This market deserves a lot, and same for women's sports, men's sports, and we're all about it, really.
Talk to us about the play on the field. For anybody that hasn't been able to take an indoor soccer game, why should people show up at Baxter Arena tomorrow? Talk them into the building. What kind of product do they get when they're watching the Kings and Queens play?
Well, first of all, indoor soccer, if you haven't seen it, first of all, you don't have to love soccer because sometimes you go to outdoor and people are like, oh, this is boring, this is that. Now, you can love hockey, you can love football, you can love basketball, any other sport, and you go to the indoor game of Baxter Arena, which is a beautiful arena, obviously, and you go and face it, and you go and see the energy, the fast pace. It's off the walls. You see the players go at it. You see a bunch of goals. You see me being passionate on the field. You see me yelling on the field, right? So at the end of the day, it's just not about the sport. It's about the intensity that we bring for our community. You see the players wear their jersey, and you see what they're all about. They give it all, and they represent the logo. They represent the city. They represent our community. And really, that's what it's all about. When you come out and you see local owners that give it all, the players give it all, and you see the field and you see how crazy it is, you're always going to want to come back. And I invite you to experience it tomorrow and see what we're all about, really.
So what's the ticket package you've got going on for the two games tomorrow?
So the women's game is at 5 p.m. tomorrow. You can get there an hour early. The game is right after that. So because soccer, football, I call it football, it's about really the ball and the community. What we try to do is make it affordable where you buy one ticket and you go to both games. And essentially we have a Fanatics section, which let me tell you, when I'm talking about Fanatics, they are fanatics, right? And it's $20 for that section. Then you have another section is behind, not so much behind the glass, but a little bit in the mid section, and that is $25. And then you have, which is right by the glass, is $30.
Okay.
Right. And now if you have a group more than 10 people, you get 15% off when you call in as well. And also you have a youth tickets that you can get as well. So we're trying to make sure that we're there for the community because you can charge a lot of money, but soccer is not about that. We are not about that. We are about giving an experience, giving an opportunity to the kids to grow and be there and to know that they can make it to the next level. And that's really what we're about. Our family, I call it family because our organization is family, right? So we're about that. So.
And you partner a lot with youth programs to have them come out and play at intermission. If there's anybody out there listening who's got a youth program that would like to get involved, how can they get in touch?
So they can obviously go to our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. But personally, I will give you my own personal email. Oh, probably shouldn't do this, but I will do it right now. Emmanuel at OmahaKingsFC.com. You can reach out to me there and say that you're interested in bringing your team or being part of a halftime show. Like this weekend, we're doing a Senna and Grange shootout at halftime, right? Because it's the holidays, right?
Yeah.
You have to invest in the community and you have to have fun. So I'll make sure you reach out to me because the kids, they get to meet the players, they get to walk in with the players. And really, like I said in our organization it's about the next generation.
Well, if you want to go to the game tomorrow, we have 2 tickets to each game, right?
So what I want to do is because of the community and you guys obviously here mean a lot to me because you care about our organization and I care about you guys, is I want to give out 2 pairs. So it total is 4 tickets for tomorrow. I already have him at Wilco at Baxter Arena. I want you to obviously maybe we can have people call in right now,
Sure.
right?
402-951-1620. We'll give it to the third caller. So if you want to go to Omaha Kings and Queens tomorrow on Manny Veal, the owner of the organization / head coach, give us a call 402-951-1620. We will get you. We have 4 tickets to give away. Is that correct?
Yeah. So essentially 2 pairs. So
okay.
4 tickets. And then I just want you to come out and experience what we're all about, really, so we can get out in the community.
Yeah, and if you've never seen indoor soccer, it's something else, man. The pace is wild. The game's a little shorter as far as time. It's line changes like hockey and
blue cars like hockey.
High scoring. It's great. It's a great game. It's really fun for me to call as well because it's like it's super fast paced. You get to flex the broadcasting muscles a little bit, and it is just a ton of fun. And I think if it's an entry point for you for soccer, like this is a great spot to do it.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole different game, and if you're not used to indoor soccer, come out and experience. There's so many different rules and intents. There's so many action, blue cars, man down, man up. There's so many things that you experience. You're like, what is this, right? And
Yeah, you get the power play going on.
and you get to see the intensity and the passion of the players, like how they go at it. So
Yeah, you've been talking to me about how excited you are for this team. Well, what gets you so excited about this group of players that you have this year?
I think the talent that we have, the tremendous talent that we have this year in the men and women's, they're super invested. They're so passionate about this community. They're so passionate about the sport. And like I said, they play for the jersey, they play for the city, and we're bringing a lot of talent in. And essentially, we're trying to represent the city the right way. Make sure not only we take care of business on the field, but we represent the next generation the right way. That's what we're all about.
Well, we'll go ahead and get your phone calls in 402-951-1620. Manny, before we let you get out of here, how can, if there's somebody out there that's a business owner that may be listening to this, how can they go about sponsoring or getting a sponsorship package for the Omaha Kings? And Queens?
So you can email Natalie at omahakingsfc.com. We have different packages, different partnerships, different sponsorships, the Jumbotron, the ribbon boards, the dashboards. We own the turf, right? And essentially you can create your own package. We can customize whatever you need. And like I said, we're here not just to help each other, to help the Kings and the organization, the Queens, but we're also here to help your business grow. Imagine just your business at Jumbotrons, at Baxter Arena. It helps you grow as well, and it helps us grow as a business, right? So, and also, we just, and I want to announce this here on the radio.
Sure, good.
We just got the bid for the Final Four of the MSL 2. So there's teams from Mexico, Sonora, from Pennsylvania, Harrisburg Heat. We got the wild card already. And this, I haven't said this anywhere yet, but this will be my last year coaching.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to retire. I think it's been 6 years of hard work, but now it's time to grow the business side and just bring somebody else to grow it, right? So I'm just trying to do what's right for the community and just bring the noise, the talents. And we're also going to bring Chivas Legends and American Legends on April 19th, which is like players from the World Cup that most people never get to meet or experience. And so, like I said, we're invested all in on this, and it's about the community and players to experience something they never had before.
Awesome.
Well, go get your phone call in 402-951-1620. We will get you set up with two tickets tomorrow, two pairs of tickets tomorrow to the Omaha Kings and Queens at Baxter Arena. Games are at 5 and...
Yeah, so the women's game and the Queens game is at 5 p.m. and the men's is right after the women's game is at 7 p.m. Again, it's before the holidays. There's not much to do in this community. Come out and enjoy this event. You can bring your kids, get them tired, enjoy the atmosphere, and enjoy holidays, right? So I appreciate you all for always having me. You guys are great at what you do. Thank you for always. And I look forward to doing a partnership and making something special out of this.
That's the Omaha Kings and Queens. Check them out online. Get down to Baxter Arena tomorrow and check out the game. The college football playoff is underway. The Oklahoma Sooners are up 7-0 right now. We'll dive into that game and the rest of the college football playoff. 1620 The Zone. We come back.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Boys Town Ear, Nose, and Throat Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7.
Definitely a bit breezy outside on your Friday afternoon, but that south breeze has warmed us up a little bit in comparison to yesterday. We're lower 40s. This evening will be in the mid 30s, and we stay that way for a lot of the overnight hours with clouds increasing a bit. Your Saturday, breezy start, but in the afternoon, that wind may calm a little bit, and we'll have high temperatures again, mid and low 40s. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
At Timber, they don't just give you a place to go for lunch or dinner. They give you an experience from their bold, smoky flavors prepared in the open concept kitchen where you get to watch the magic happen to the relaxing umbrella-shaded patio. There's something for everyone at Timber. Join them for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, plus happy hour from 2 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday, and 2 to close on Sunday. Timberwood Fire Bistro in the heart of Omaha at 84th and Pacific.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers, starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Merry Christmas from Controlled Comfort. This holiday, get a full heat pump system or a high-efficiency AC system for just $2,000 more than a furnace alone. This price is calculated after all available rebates and tax credits. Don't wait. Get ready for the Nebraska summer heat now. Call Controlled Comfort.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Creighton coverage on 1620 The Zone is powered by Chandler Conway, Nebraska personal injury lawyers you can trust. Injured in an accident? Visit chandlerconway.com for a free consultation. Don't face this challenge alone. That's chandlerconway.com.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:45 on a Friday night here at 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become number one in Omaha by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, roof, your gutters, your siding. Check it out at pyramidroof.com. Get that free estimate tonight. We're up against the clock just a little bit, so we're going to give our closing arguments courtesy of Bob Williams at Williams Law here to wrap up the show. What we'll do here is we'll each give you one hot take to send you home with. We'll put a poll up on Twitter. Whoever has the most votes in the poll will receive the best closing take of the night and win the argument. John Schreiner, do you want to go and start us off?
No.
All right, I will. I will do so. Listen,
I stole yours the last time, so I'm
okay.
I'm conceding to you this time.
I appreciate that. Motion carried. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and this is what makes this a hot take. Right now, Alabama is currently down 7-0, and Oklahoma is just outside of the red zone. Right now, what was going to be a possibly third and long now is a third and short. But I am going to stand by what I said at the beginning of the season. This is still the Kalen DeBoer revenge tour. I think Alabama still wins this game, still makes the national championship. What do you got?
I disagree because I picked Oklahoma, and they're currently leading.
Yeah, fair. And at home.
All right.
And a playoff game.
There's been,
in college football
lately, a lot of media attention put on group of 5 teams in the playoffs and how they don't deserve to be there. And there's no way we should have these group of 5 teams in the playoff, and they should have their own separate playoff. And I'm here to tell you that if you think that, you're wrong. They play in Division I football. And if you play in a Division I sport, you should have access to compete for a national championship.
Agreed.
And there should be rules in place that allow you to have access to play for a championship. Whether or not you ever win said championship is totally irrelevant. It does not matter. And I've made this argument before, but I'll make it again. A 16 beat a 1 in the NCAA basketball
It happened. I
tournament.
saw it.
It has happened.
I synced it.
The thing that everyone said wasn't ever going to happen, that these 16 seeds don't even belong in the tournament. They shouldn't even be here. Well, it's now happened. A 16 has beaten a 1. In fact, it's happened twice.
And the thing that a lot of people point out was like, oh, there's going to be blowouts and nobody really needs to see this game. Does anybody remember what the college football playoff looked like when there was 4 teams in the semifinal rounds?
Blowouts.
Remember how close those games were? Does anybody else remember Penn State beating Boise State 31-14 last year and how close that game actually was going into the fourth quarter? You know what people don't talk about? It's the fact that Ohio State routed the number 1 seed last year, which wasn't a group of 5 team. It was Oregon. They beat them by 3 scores. It's not just the group of 5 that are going to face blowouts. I promise you that.
So if there's going to be a new set of rules where we cut Division I down to only the P4 or P4 adjacent schools, okay, that's a different set of rules.
It's a different game.
That's a different game. That's a different division of college athletics. What we have right now is a bunch of Division I teams. And some of those teams that have been left out in the cold for so long
in Norman, Oklahoma,
just because they don't play in one of the major conferences
in Norman,
that
Oklahoma,
have never been able to even compete on a stage where a championship was at stake, now have that opportunity, and that is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Dan Campion?
Oklahoma is going to win this football game. First off,
Some are calling that a bad take.
you didn't give me a chance to do any singing tonight.
Do you want to sing Boomer Sooner?
No. Want to sing, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. My closing argument is I don't care.
Okay. Good take. Good take.
I don't
Merry
care.
Christmas, Dan.
Yeah.
I don't care that ESPN felt the need to write an article today to say that Travis Kelce is going to play the final 3 games of the season as he ponders his future.
Of course he's going to. He's getting paid to do so.
Yes. Do you know what happens when you don't show up to your job? Generally, they do not pay you. That is what the NFL is based upon. You get a check for playing in the game. You play to win the game, and you play to get paid after said game. Why? I understand that he has become this larger than Kansas City and NFL media personality.
Is it fair to call him a pop culture icon?
Well, he became one.
Icon? No.
Yeah,
pop culture figure?
There
yes.
you go. All right.
I am perfectly fine with giving him that respect, but I don't care that he's going to play the final 3 games of the season. We know that he's going to do that. And you know who's going to be throwing him the ball? I think it's still Carson Wentz. That'll be fun.
It's not Taylor Heineke. We know that for a fact.
We do know that for a fact. Also, can we stop talking about Marty Supreme? I am over
Oh, yeah, what?
this new Timothy Chalamet movie. I'm over it. Folks,
Merry Christmas, Dan.
Timothy Chalamet is Marty Supreme coming out on Christmas Day.
Where did this come from? What are you talking about?
I'm just getting all my pop culture takes out. I've had a lot in my system over the last couple days. I understand Timothy Chalamet is interesting. He is a young man who is younger than I am, and he's really good at acting, apparently.
He's
and
fantastic at acting.
He is like the hot new guy on the block. This is, I understand why
Dune
you're
was
doing
really
this.
good.
It is his chance to prove that he can be top billing and carry a movie all the way through by being the sole main character in a movie.
Who's he in Interstellar?
He was Matthew McConaughey's son in
okay.
Interstellar.
Pretty full. A lot of sap.
Soon to be replaced by Casey Affleck midway through the movie.
I've never seen a Timothy Chalamet movie.
You ever seen Dune? Buddy, you would love Dune.
Dune was good.
Dune was awesome.
Oh, he's the dude that played the new Willy Wonka guy. I haven't
Yes.
seen that either, but
I'm very
He
tired.
played Bob
of-
Dylan.
Oh yeah. So I
In- in what?
respect Timothy Chalamet. I respect the hustle. I don't need you just to keep putting him in front of me all the time. That being said,
people
shout out to
talking crap about me
ESD
not knowing
Kid.
who Timothy Chalamet is. Okay.
Shout out to ESD Kid. Timmy, little Timmy Tim. You still have the rap chops apparently, where you can apparently be on the remix of Four Raws because you look something like a rapper from England. Those are all my pop culture takes currently.
You good? You
Yeah.
Get all that out?
I'm just tired of the Marty Supreme press tour.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
They've been pushing this for months.
Timothy Chalamet's good.
I can't stand him as like a person with
no-
this like Marty Supreme thing.
He's no Gene Wilder.
He's become more and more
Willy Wonka
full of
reference.
himself in
What
such a
hell
positive way
happened?
that it annoys me
Merry
because
Christmas,
he's so
Dan.
confident. He's so confident in himself.
You just been sitting on that for 2 hours?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've been sitting on this all day.
Believe it or not, I knew the answer to that question.
He has gone on about 1,000 podcasts this week. And I'm like,
He's selling a movie. What do you want him to do?
just play table tennis for fun.
What?
Just go to a bunch of places where people play table tennis and be like, hey, it's me, Timothy Chalamet. I play table tennis in my new movie. And it's all about being positive and being like, believing in
Is
yourself.
that really what this movie's about?
Yes.
Okay.
He literally
Happy
has
New
described
Year,
it
Dan.
as I play table tennis, and it's about young people believing in themselves and having a dream. And Marty Supreme's dream is to play table tennis. Also, I will watch any movie that the Safdie brothers make. So that, bar none, I will be going to see it eventually. I'm just tired of the press tour around it.
This is the most Dan segment of all time.
I
hate everything. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I also like it.
And I'm gonna go watch it. By the way,
Because I like Timothy Chalamet as an actor, as a promoter of his movies. I'm like, just be quiet. No one needs more of you
boy.
right now. Let
Good
the
Lord.
work speak. You think Jack Nicholson goes out there and says, "Yeah, I'm the best.
Yes.
I'm gonna hop on a rap
yes.
remix"?
all the
He
time.
does.
Actually,
He actually doesn't. When's the last time you saw him go?
when's the last time?
Yeah,
Jack
you
Nicholson
see the
was in a
He's like,
Departed?
he's like 90.
He literally does that at the front row of the Lakers games.
But that's because he can pay for those tickets.
Dan,
Also, that is a whole nother thing because
the
the
hell
Buzz
just
family gave
happened?
him those tickets.
I don't. How did we get here?
Well, you see, we were on a train, and now,
Now we got ran over by.
and now the rails have disappeared.
I guess that's how we're going to end this week of the After Hours Labs. Thank you to our good friend Manny Veal for being here tonight.
Timmy.
Thank you to Timothy Chalamet, apparently. Thank you to Brian Munson. Hopefully the Munson family and his beautiful wife Jennifer make it safely up to Nebraska as they come up for the holidays. Hopefully you and your family have a great holiday. We'll see you on Tuesday night. If you missed any of the show, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. Our closing arguments were brought to you by Bob Williams of Williams Law. If you or one of your loved ones are facing litigation, head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com. You get a free, no obligation legal consultation. Tonight, for Dave Campion, John Schreiner, and all of the Timothy Chalamet fans, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Oatmeal Muffin Day, everybody.
Yeah, blueberry's better.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-93.